Hello, everybody. This is Wings of Dawn, episode, goodness, 8? Yeah, episode 8. And as you can see, we're on super speed because we have a lot to do today. We found a skeleton spawner. I was doing some caving with Kev Dude and our friend Jack, and we were lucky enough to find a skeleton spawner. It's not too far from original spawn. It's in the Mesa biome, so that's awesome. What we're doing today is we're building a skeleton XP farm. Those are going to be taken out. Those are marking off the space. You need 4 air blocks in each direction for the way that I'm building it. And then at the end of those 4 blocks, what you'll see, what I'm crafting right now, is the lamps. And if you have 4 lamps in those positions, my experience has been that's enough to totally light up the area around the spawner. So if we light all those lamps, that prevents the spawner from spawning any skeletons. And we've got, like I said, we've got some other things that we're going to do with this. We're gonna have a little bonemeal farm for all the bones that we get from the skeletons, and so we'll be able to grow some crops, and we can have some cows, I think, too, to feed the crops too. So it's all going to be like this little self-contained, like, center of creating items and XP and all that good stuff. We're going to have as many arrows as we want. We're going to get lots of bows. We're going to get lots of armor. So lots of good stuff going on here. Okay, so I've removed the blocks that were marking the airspace, and now I'm going to build the central room of the build, which is going to be directly on top of the spawner. And you just saw me kind of leave and come back. I already cut out all the video where I go and I gather resources at different points in time, because this video is really already long enough to begin with. We're in the Mesa biome, like I said, so I'm going to run out several times and get more clay, and I'm going to run out several times and get chop down some trees, get some wood. But I'm going to cut all that out of the video. What I'm doing right now is I'm building this sort of circular pattern, or I guess it's a square pattern around the center block, and I'm going to remove that later on. That's mostly just so I can, well, I'm going to change out the blocks. That's so I can know like where the center of the room is as I'm building. So these colors that I'm putting down are not permanent. I've got a nice pick for this build. The kids in their Mesa biome base have a fully set up enchanting station with you know, all the bookshelves that you need. So actually, I believe this pick was from Kevin. I gave him the pick and the lapis, and he enchanted it for me because he had 30 levels and I didn't. This is my second really good pick, and the first pick was after I did that Nether adventure when I found the Blaze farm and all that, or the Blaze spawner. I haven't made it a farm yet. I should go back there soon. But after that, I got up to level 30, and I was able to get a good pick going for the episode after that. And then this is my second decent pick, and I'm pretty sure it's all used up by the end of this episode because we got so much digging to do. Here I'm moving my supplies out of the area there because it turns out the supplies were too close to the build. They're right into the area where we're now building. So back all that stuff out of there. Throw all the blocks in a chest. Gonna set up a little smeltery here too, so we can smelt all that gold that we're finding. There's a lot of gold in this area when you're digging around. I think that's new. I think that's one of the new aspects of terrain generation in Minecraft, is that in certain areas in the Mesa biome, you're gonna just find lots and lots and lots of gold. And those are like the gold mines, or whatever. Just got back from another supply run. Taking out yet another layer. It's going to be a pretty big room centered over the spawner. And I'm sorry this video took so long to get out. It's been a long time since I've posted another video. And the footage that you're seeing is actually pretty old. I recorded all this, and then I was, okay, next thing I've got to do is I've got to record the voiceover, and I just didn't get to it for a long time. I've been very busy. And I'm going to continue to be busy, unfortunately, it looks like. And I'm not sure how many videos I'm going to get out in any kind of reasonable amount of time in the future, but I'm going to try to keep doing it just whenever I get the chance. Can't promise any more than that. Alright, so this sets up the area where the skeletons are going to drop out. That's what I'm doing now with the white clay there. Skeletons are going to come right out there. So we've got to direct the skeletons to that spot from down inside. So now I'm putting in the permanent walls for the area around the spawner where the skeletons will spawn. You can see I've got switches on the back of all those lamps. Later on I'm going to use some redstone to hook all those lamps up to one switch so that I can turn the skeleton spawning on and off with one switch. In order to hook them up, I've got to run a line of redstone, right? And what I'm doing now is I'm making a passageway all the way around the outside of the room, and that's where the redstone wire actually is going to run. I'm not doing anything real groundbreaking here. The spawners have been done to death. I'm sure there's lots of great tutorials out there doing these sorts of things. Everybody has their own take on it. There is a way to get slightly more spawns by making it like 5 blocks of air on one side, 4 blocks on the other side, but I don't bother with that. Doesn't seem worth it. This new spot here that I just built, that's for the switch. That switch is going to turn on and off the lights, so we'll have all that. I'm going to put some signs up so you can know which way the switch is supposed to go. There, now the switch goes left and right, so we're going to have on and off on either side for whether or not you want the skeletons to spawn. And then we've just got to hook that up to a redstone wire that runs around to the lamps that I put in place. How are you doing? I'm doing well. I'm sorry if you hear the TV in the background. The kids are a little sick and they're watching cartoons. There's a little bit of the plague going around at the school, you know what I mean? Oh, and guess what? On this same server as what you're seeing now, we've got another person actually doing YouTube videos, as promised. I think I mentioned that a long time ago. Auntie Ann made her first video, so in the description for this video I'll link to her first video so you can go check that out. Pretty exciting. Alright, so the lights turned off when I was setting the wiring up, so we had to come in here and get rid of the skeletons that spawned while I was doing that. And next I believe we're going to fill in the walls. Yeah. Now how are we going to get all the skeletons that spawn all over the place in this room into one place so that we can take them to where they're supposed to be? The way that you do that, the way everybody does it, is with water streams. So we're going to have water streams all along one side of the wall, all flowing across the room, and then where they end there's going to be like a canal that connects them, that brings them all into one spot, and then we'll use like a water elevator where they get pushed into water and they try to swim up, and then they just keep going up and up and up. And that'll bring them up high enough to bring them to that spot where they are supposed to be. Lots of fun, huh? So I'm just checking the height, figuring out how far they have to go up. That brown clay I'm going to take out. That was just a pile up. There we go. I've got it to the right location. Now I just need to set up the water streams within there to bring the skeletons where they're supposed to be. Now I'm going to need a way in and out of here, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a little passage that goes up, and I'm going to put a iron door on that, so that if I need to get down there into where the skeletons are, I can. but I can close it in a way that mobs can't open it. Even if we were to put it on hard mode. Like if you're on hard mode, zombies can break down doors. Not that we're working with zombies here, but I don't know, a zombie might get in there or something. But with an iron door, definitely only a player can open it. So, okay, now we're getting our water streams going. They push right to the edge of this that canal on the far side of the room, and that goes right down into the area where they're going to go up. And I've got to keep going back for more water as I build this. The easy way to do it, if I had Silk Touch, would be to do some ice farm and get some ice blocks, and then you can carry a whole stack of them in one spot in your inventory. But in order to get Silk Touch, I need like XP and I need enchanting, and that's why I'm building this thing, is so that I can get a nice source of XP and do some enchanting and all that. So it's kind of a chicken and egg problem. Oops. Spilled some water. That cobblestone's only temporary. I'm going to replace that with glass later, and you'll have a little viewing window of the skeletons going up. Oh, there it is. Now, the question is, I just, I do this multiple times. I just screwed up my redstone once again. Anytime water flows, it's going to just wipe away any redstone that it comes into contact with, so that'll be a recurring theme in this video, I think. They're getting stuck on a block. I left a block down there. I've got to go get rid of that brown block right there. I also forgot one water stream. Right, down in there. See, I gotta push them that way, down into there. Okay. So now the water streams are set up. I should not have to come in there anymore, I don't think. That's all working and functional. Right now I've got the boy upstairs and I'm downstairs. I'm telling him to turn it on and off so I can see what's going on, make sure it's working properly. I think it is. Yep, and the skeletons are ending up right where they're supposed to be. I'm gonna fix these signs though so it's a little bit easier to understand. Skeletons, no skeletons, right? Can't confuse that. Got our viewing window. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, we're not done yet, is we're going to put a hopper in to collect all the drops from the skeletons. And we are going to do like a full-on like item sorter and loot room. So all the bones and the arrows and the bows and the armor and stuff that they drop, it's all going to be sorted and filtered, and it's going to be nice. You'll see that. Necessarily, it's got to be around behind a hopper there, because that's where the skeletons die. So I'm opening up some space back there, getting ready to put that in. I'm gonna cut some of this because it's all other people's design. I'm not adding anything to the item sorting mechanic or anything like that. That's you can find lots and lots and lots of tutorials of that on YouTube. Just search for Minecraft item filter or item sorter. Uses hoppers and comparators to basically detect what kind of item you got and move it in different chests depending on what it is. So in the end, we'll be able to come down here and you'll have like a chest full of arrows and a chest full of bones and a chest full of bows and stuff. Actually, you can't sort the bows from the armor, but pretty much everything else you can sort out. It's going to have to be a surprisingly big room, though. Alright, so there's the cut there. I didn't do the whole messing about with the redstone because there's nothing new there. There's nothing unique that I'm bringing. Now we're designing the room. I hope you like the colors I picked out. Gonna do some red down here. This whole build is all clay blocks for the most part, and I think it looks pretty cool in the end. Pretty happy with it. I'm open to suggestions if anybody, if at the end there's something that bothers you about it. Still kind of thinking about it. The thing with clay blocks is there's not really any texture on them, you know what I mean? It's just like one color. But which is nice because there's a lot of ugly textures in Minecraft, like the cobblestone and everything, and the dirt. And when you get a nice, clean color, it looks good, you know. But I guess there's such thing as too much of that. You need to add a little detail sometimes to make it look nice. So I don't know. I've definitely tended towards all clay in this whole build, and I ended up at the end pretty happy with it. I'll show you at the end what it looks like, but there might be room for improvement, perhaps. Yeah, so this room's starting to take shape. I'm going to put some white on the ceiling. The white stained clay is not really white. It's, what is it, beige or pink or something, or light pink. This whole build, I mean, this video is not going to be very long, but the whole build itself was, oh my goodness, way longer than I thought it was going to be. I got like at least 3.5 hours of video after cutting out all the supply runs that I did and other stuff. And man, so I sped it up 4 times. I cut it down as much as I could. Hopefully this video won't be too insane. Just throwing in some stairs here so you can get down into the loot room. If I remember correctly, you'll later see the stairs in a slightly different position because I moved them. But the idea here is you got to be within a certain distance of the spawner for it to spawn stuff. And what I'm trying to do is all the parts of the build that you'll be using are all around the spawner. Like they sort of just wrap around like the giant square that is the spawning room for the skeletons. And that way, whatever you're doing in here, whether you're in the loot room or you're somewhere else, you'll see I build other stuff later, you're always within range of the spawner, so you're never wasting time by not spawning skeletons because you have something to do with the auto farm or the loot room or whatever else is you're doing. Trying to make it all, you know, all right in that area. Gonna add some, another water spill. That one did not break the redstone. That was a lucky one. Gonna fill that water, and don't need water streams anymore, so it's just a hazard to have that there now. Put some stairs in here as well. The great thing about this skeleton spawner is that it's really like right at the surface. It's really not very far down. So you can see like there's that passageway out, and there's a nether portal there, but if you go straight through the nether portal, you can just walk right out to land. Like we're in like a little hill. Very convenient location. Later I decorate most of that hallway off camera. Just doing this little entrance area right now. Whacking some skeletons, taking out some ceiling. It's starting to look nice, you know? Like a little brown in the ceiling. Alright, skipping ahead. Now I lost some video right there where that transition was. As you can see, I've begun building this new redstone contraption over on the side here. This is the auto farm. This I'm going to show you in detail when I slow down the video and go actually back into Minecraft. Because this is my design. Now, I'm sure other people have done stuff like this, okay? But this is, it's basically my design. I did it from essentially first principles. I'd done it in another world, and now I'm building it again here. I do have a little bit of trouble building it. It's, you know, I'm kind of figuring out for a second time how all the redstone worked, and it's just a trial and error kind of situation. but I'm pretty proud of this. Here's how it works. So you've probably seen or heard of the AFK-able automatic farms, which means you just stand in a certain spot, you put a piece of tape on your mouse key to hold down the right-click button, and it just goes. Like, it just, you know, you plant it, the bone meal fires, grows the crop, the piston moves the dirt, which harvests the crop, and then you just keep planting. And you can actually walk away from your computer while that's going on. Okay, this is not an AFK-able bone meal farm, because, I don't know, like, AFK-able farms are kind of lame, in my opinion. Like, I want to play Minecraft. Like, I'm happy to use redstone to make things more efficient, to make it, you know, work better, get more good stuff faster, but, you know, just the idea of, like, walking away from your computer and just letting the computer play itself, like, come on, like, is that fun? You know. So this is like a modified version of that, that's not AFK-able, but in fact, and, you know, I haven't measured this exactly, but I believe this one is actually even faster than the typical one-block bone meal farm. Normally what happens is the bone meal, the 3 bone meal things fire pretty much all at once, very quickly, and then there's a piston that moves the dirt block to break the crop, like I said. That takes a little bit of time because the pistons can only move so fast and stuff, and you've got to replant, you've got to fire the bone meal and everything. It seems to me that the slowest part of all that is actually the piston, and moving that dirt block back and forth in order to harvest the stuff that you're growing. So, on the other hand, if you have a whole line of dirt, like what I have here, and you're walking alongside it, you can really plant a lot of crops pretty quickly. So what I've done is I've taken that whole line of dirt, and I'm going to have the user plant it all at once, which is really quick. And then the redstone is going to bone meal it, and then shift the whole thing left and then right. You might recognize that mechanic from Etho's older netherwart farm, not the newer one that he built, but the older one. And that will harvest all of them. And doing it that way, I don't know, I feel like it's faster. I feel like it's faster. I haven't done a scientific test, but I feel like you can get even more crops faster out of this thing as a player than you can out of the one that uses a single block. I could be wrong. I don't know. Now, you want to be able to trigger the redstone from anywhere along that dirt block. So my idea for that was to run a tripwire up in the ceiling, right above the user's head, all along there, which is what I'm setting up now. And that way, wherever you are after you've planted it all, you can just jump. And when you jump, your head hits the tripwire, and that triggers the whole mechanism. So you plant, you start on the left, you go all the way down to the right, planting, then you just jump. Then you plant from right back to the left, and then jump again, and then you plant from the left to the right, and jump again. And that's all you need to do. You can get a lot of wheat real fast. You can see here I'm having trouble. You've got to have an extra block in there that's not a dirt block, so that the dirt block doesn't get the farmland doesn't get unhoed, so to speak. The other trouble I'm having, well, besides that water stream, is that there's a couple of blocks that are not getting the bone meal that they need for some reason, and I'm not sure why that is. But what I ended up doing in the end to fix it is I moved the comparator back from them. There's a comparator back there that's the clock. That's what gives you like the pulse, like the tick 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 real fast. And by moving that back a block, I was able to get rid of that problem. I think it was just somehow too close to the comparator to work. So, all right. I think we've had enough of this. Let's cut, and I'll show you the finished product. All right, I'm going to start by showing you how to get there, because I haven't shown you that yet. Here we are up on Spawn Island, far above the world. That's our little house that we made in episode 1. And it's right about there where the crosshairs are. So let's get over there. We can swing out here to sea. probably going too fast to go right through the door. Okay. Try that approach a second time. There we go. Ba-da-ba-da-da. Here's our little cubbyhole of supplies. Kev Dude fell from a high place. And here we are. I've got a cow farm here. That's because we're growing wheat with the auto farm. Skeletons come out here. Loot room's down this way. I've been using all the bones in the auto farm, not a lot of those, but here's some arrows to give you an idea of how well it's working. And other kinds of loot here. We have a chest for enchanted bows, a chest for bows that we've repaired, so we've got lots of repaired bows. Very nice. I've got a new pick. Efficiency 4, Unbreaking 3, Fortune 2. Got an anvil down here, and if we look up, there's our new enchanting setup. You can see we've slaughtered enough cows to get all of the leather we need for the bookshelves. I've got my ender chest right here with lots of good stuff in it. I've got a silk touch pick, Fortune 3 pick. I'm getting ready to enchant a sword. I'm going to put the looting 3 enchantment on the sword. Things are looking up. I got a sweeping edge book. That's new. Pretty cool. Some more leather from those cows. Put a little chest down here with some swords in it, so you don't have to use up the durability on your regular sword when you come over here to whack the skeletons. And let's give a demo for this auto farm. Well, let's look at the redstone first, and then we'll do a demo. This is the bone meal farm redstone access. We come back here. Basically, the way it works is you jump, after you've planted, you jump into the tripwire, and that sends a signal from here. This is a signal lengthener, so it lengthens the signal for a little bit. And then this cuts it after a certain amount of time. And all that is to make the redstone signal always be the same length, no matter, even if something gets stuck in the tripwire. You always have a signal of the same length going into here. And this is the clock. This, whenever you have power, this will tick on and off real fast. And the timing is such that it powers each of the dispensers 3 times in a row real quick. My internet just cut out for a second. As I was saying, the redstone signal goes over to here, and that is the piston. When that piston fires, it pushes the whole line of dirt blocks this way, and then this piston automatically pushes them back, and that causes the wheat to get harvested. There we go. So let's do a demo. The way you do this, I'm going to put 1 wheat right there so you can see the numbers. You start at one end, you just go plant, 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 jump, bam, plant, 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 jump, bam. And you can see we've already got 22 wheats. We're getting 11 each time, I think, because there's 11 dispensers. The limit is how many blocks a piston can push. So a piston can push 12 blocks. And the 12th is that cobblestone there that needs to be on plant lands. So you can see we got a stack of wheat. Bam. Even more than a stack now. You can grow a lot of wheat that way. You can feed your cows. And yeah, I redecorated the floor. Hope you like the floor. I got real mad at the floor because I kept changing the colors, and I finally found one that I like, and I think it looks real nice now. Put this real subtle strip of pink in there. I think that helps. So yeah, I think that's the tour. Oh, here's one little extra feature here. This is a cow feeding timer. If you're trying to breed a lot of cows, you're going to want to know when you can feed them a second time, right? So what you do is you feed them all, and then you hit this, and the light goes out. In 5 minutes, which is how much time it takes for the cows to get reset, there'll be a little chime that plays and the light comes back on, and that gives you your signal to feed the cows again. So that helps you to manage your time wisely when you're feeding cows. Hey, level 30. Let's enchant something. Let's see, I could enchant the boots, the sword. I've got some books. Did the pants already. Sharpness 3. That is so disappointing. You can get sharpness 4 on enchant, right? Oh, maybe I'll do the unbreaking 3 on the boots. Let's see what we have. Sharpness 3, unbreaking. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do that one. Oh, I need some lapis. Alright, unbreaking 3, please be something good, something good. Ah, only unbreaking 3. I was robbed. Alright, that's gonna be it for today. I do have one more thing that I would like to show you. That's better. One more thing that I want to show you. For Christmas, I got a cool pair of Christmas socks with little gnomes stitched into them, and I love them. And I decided to interpret these stitches as Minecraft blocks, as a guide for a piece of pixel art to put in my world. So I built the gnome. I built the gnome in Minecraft. He's a lot bigger in Minecraft than he is on my sock. And I'm really happy with the way it turned out. And oh my goodness, it's raining. Well, that's Minecraft for you. Anyway, there's my Christmas gnome. I think he looks pretty awesome. Made it all out of wood. The hat is acacia. The skin is oak. There's jungle on the shirt. There's spruce on the pants. And the outline for the whole thing is dark oak wood. And I think it looks pretty great. Anyway. I'm trying to make a YouTube episode. Do you mind? Oh, now the toddler on my lap is getting sad because the monsters are after me. I'll see you guys later. I gotta go now. Bye. Alright, I'm gonna start talking now, okay? Okay, here we are. I'm gonna start over.